Hey guys, so in this video I want to do two things. I want to check our oil pressure, make sure we are actually building oil, make sure we are, and I can't talk. I get a little bit of Starbucks, my mouth gets all messed up from cream and I can't talk. I want to check our oil pressure and I also want to check our fuel pressure, make sure everything is a-okay. Well, not necessarily the fuel pressure, I just want to make sure we're not leaking anything. First thing we're going to do is we do not want our fuel pump to kick on, so we're going to pull the 15 amp fuse in our engine bay. Once it's out, we don't have to worry about fuel going to our fuel rails and injectors and causing, combustion. Once we do that, fill up oil with just normal oil for our first start and we'll be good to go. Also not going to be using break-in oil for the first couple of heat cycles, just your traditional, 5W40 mutual oil. We're going to go with that. Let's get it done. I am expecting our oil level to drop a bit once we start cranking it. I'm just expecting it to drop. Another thing is I want to make sure none of this stuff is in anything, just so we don't suck that up into the engine bay. So I'm going to remove all this as well. We can put new stuff later. Remove all this, because the last thing that I want is this getting sucked in. And one more thing we're going to do. We're going to disconnect. Well, I guess this is not even connected. I'm wondering if we should have our manifold on or not. Yeah, so apparently that doesn't work. We're going to have to put the intake manifold back on to do this. That's not a problem. I just didn't want to do it in case there was a problem. It would just be easier to diagnose it, but it is what it is. Let's throw a time lapse, I guess. So it's been a little bit since I finished this video, and I went to go put on the intake manifold and found out I had to make new hoses. So let me show you them right now. Basically, it's this hose and this hose right here running to the front of your fuel rails. And what was happening is when we put the intake manifold down, it was crushing this. You can see there's a bunch of wear marks here. I got paint missing from here now. Basically, in this current spot, it was no good. I had to move everything forward. So now I have like this hose clamp kind of holding it down here. It's really not going to do much, just kind of secures it really. So I'm going to have to adjust that and move that so it kind of fits nicer. Now it clears. It sucks because now I got to wash these out and brake clean them and let them dry before I throw them back in. If I knew this in the beginning of the morning, I could have had this done and put the intake manifold on right away, but now I'm set behind. So I don't know if we're going to make it to the Cobb tune. We might have to go open source. We will see. So since we still have to use our top mount intercooler, and I don't want to cover up the new fuel rails with this, I'm going to go ahead, cut along here so we can still mount up those two spots to the back end of our TGVs. But we don't need all this ugly metal. So let's get her cut. We should be good to prime it. We should be good to prime it. I am really nervous. Everything's plugged in though. Other than the alternator, there's no coolant in the car, and we don't have the top mount in and that. Everything else should be good to go. I double checked the connections. I believe all connections are there. Anything that's a sensor has been plugged in. Now it's plugged in. Yeah. Other than the crankshaft connector right there, everything is connected and we should be good to go. Yeah, I guess we'll prime it. The 15 amp fuse is still disconnected, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. So we shouldn't get any fuel into the car. I guess let's see if she turns over and cranks. Let's find out. It smells like pure fuel in here. You can't see anything. So one push, she's booting up. The controller's gonna come on. I gotta turn this thing off. So you see our oil light went away right here? That means we should be good. We should be good. All right, that's exciting news, guys. So I have went ahead, checked the oil level, topped it back up. I'm gonna check it again now because I did prime it one more time. Our oil light went away. That is good. That's exciting news. We should be good to go. Yeah, I guess we'll check fuel now. This is crazy. I'm so excited. We still don't want spark. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we don't want it to spark. So one push on the button should have the pump kick on. I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm still going to keep our camshaft positioning sensor disconnected for now until we know our fuel leaks are no more. Or at least we haven't had any yet, so hopefully we won't have any. I am beyond excited. I'm stoked. I am like losing my shit right now. Let's go ahead and put the fuse in and see if we can get some fuel going through the lines. You gotta fix that right there. We gotta get it out. Gotta have them all facing the right way. Okay, I threw the light bar in here so you guys can actually see, because I'm sure before you couldn't. But I'm pretty sure if we just push this once, the fuel pump should kick on. Didn't hear it. Okay, so if I hit it twice. I hear the fuel, but I don't see anything leaking. It's honestly hard to tell being in the car. I might have to get the girlfriend to come help me because I don't see anything. Like, I don't see moisture anywhere, which is good. What I'm guessing what's happening is fuel's getting in the system, just getting out the air bubbles. It looks like we have some pressure. Interesting. So I might have to get the girlfriend to come out and help me for this real quick. Well, she came down. We ran the fuel pump for a while. We built pressure. As you can see, we have 2 leaks, and it's coming from the little bong or cap down below. That one's kind of dry. It's not that bad. But the worst side is here. It's actually like wet on the block. And if I put my finger, you can't really see it. It's starting to dry up now, but basically I got to get these fuel rails off. There's these caps on the bottom. I guess the O-ring didn't work out. Alright guys, I removed both the rails. That was a huge pain. I hope I don't have to do it again. When I first installed these in the kit, there's these couple of O-rings that I assumed were for injectors if you put new injectors. I later on found out they're supposed to go on the end of the bolt. So on the end of the bolt after that spacer that connects to your TGVs. So since I had both off, I threw those O-rings in. So if anyone complains, they're in now. I'm assuming it's for like vibration. It kind of helps hold the bolt in, so you don't have to worry about it backing out. Later on, I'll check up on these as I'm driving the car to make sure they're okay. Everything should be tightened up. And I threw some sealant on the plugs. I used new ones so that I knew were dry and not contaminated. That's the old ones. Threw some sealant. I'm going to go ahead and leave these towels here just so if it does leak, it's easy to tell. And let's cycle this again and see what happens. So removing the towels. Looks dry. We have pressure over there. I'm gonna go around and just double check all the fittings and make sure there's something losing its shit over there. I don't know what it is. It's crazy out here. But basically, I'm gonna go ahead and just double check all the fittings again. Make sure we're not getting any leaks. I think we're okay this time. I hope we are. I'm not really looking forward to having to pull that off again. I'm on the other side. Dry. So again, I'm gonna go through, double check everything, and make sure we are a-okay. I'm just thinking. If you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, take it easy.